I'm just going to show a quick video here um, as a tutorial on how I am getting, basically, this is QGIS here, and my goal is to create some soil zones um, so that when we plant or apply nitrogen or different inputs, we can sort of create our own custom little zones for what we want, how much we want to put where. And this is just something that I've kind of struggled finding information online for, so wanted to create a quick reference first just for myself and thought maybe someone else would benefit out of it as well. So this is the QGIS screen here. As you can see, I've got a block. This is just the Surgo data that's available for free just on the government website. If you want to know how to get this onto here, just watch my other video about getting data from Surgo to QGIS. Now, once I've got it here, I'm going to go ahead and I want to create these zones so that they're not, so it's not filled in. So I'm just going to go in here, double click that, and click outline blue, and that'll give me just kind of an outline of it. And then my next step is this is basically just an overlay map. There's lots of different ways you could get different types of data into here and use that data to kind of carve out different zones. One thing that I've found helpful and just a good way to get some of that data quickly and free and easily is to use just the Google Earth historical imagery to overlay that on top of here. But to do that, I'm going to have to go in and basically overlay an image on top of this and then georeference it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you quick how I do that here. So here I have my Google Earth map, and the default date, I believe at this point is looking at 1985. If I click this button right here, it will show kind of a historical marker, and I can kind of flip through different historical images, which are going to show different backdrops of data. So that kind of gives me different maps that a lot of times will give me my soil types or my soil variations that I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and just choose one of those for now. Also, just a couple quick tips. You can see I've got a perfectly overhead view happening right now at true north. If your map is kind of out of whack here and your um, north Q is not true north, you can go ahead and click your keyboard on click U, and that will give you a perfect bird's eye view. And then you can go ahead and click that in button, and that will true up your north again. So now whenever I'm moving around and panning, it will stay there. The other thing I like to do here is under tools, go to options and make sure this is checked. Do not automatically tilt while zooming. That way, if you move around, it doesn't accidentally automatically tilt your screen. So this gives me a perfect true north that I need for this image. Now, one thing I want to do, I want to take a snapshot. Really, as you can see, I only need this kind of area right here. I only need this little area right here. But for georeferencing purposes, if I just snapshot that little box there, I'm probably gonna I need some sort of a reference to basically key my my georeference off of, and so it's probably not going to be very helpful if I don't get a little bit more of an area. So I'm going to first of all, I am using my snipping tool to do this. So if I click on it, I can hit new, and let's see, let's go back. So I'm looking for some sort of a marking area that's consistent on both. I can see this little waterway here. These are some windmills that were added later, but really this waterway is probably going to be good enough. So even though I really only need this spot here, to georeference this correctly, I'm going to go ahead and snap this whole view there. That way I have something to sort of work off of on that. I could also maybe come over and grab that house too if I want to. That way it can give me a little bit more referencing abilities there. So let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and click my snipping tool, click new. I'm going to blow this screen up so it's as big as I can so I can get higher resolution. Snipping tool, new, and I'm going to capture that whole section there. And now I can go ahead and use that. So I'm going to hit Control Save, save it to my file that I had there. And I'm going to put the date that it's representing, which is 2012. Save. So now I'm going to go back to the QGIS screen here, and I can go ahead and reference that out. So the way I do that is I go up in here to Layer and Georeferencer, and I'm going to, the first thing I'm going to do, well, I can go ahead and open the raster and then select that image. So this one is the one I just saved. I'm going to open that, and before I do the referencing, I'm going to go up here to Settings and Transformations Settings. First of all, just a quick side here. I mean, I'm sure many people watching this could have a better understanding of some of these settings than I do. And so this is just, I'm showing kind of the way that I figured out how to do this to make things work. But if anyone has any suggestions of things that might work better, or some better ways to set this up, or better ways, quicker ways to do things, please don't hesitate to comment that and let me know. I'm not 100% sure what this GCP points is, but if I don't check it, it'll ask me later if I want to save it. So I'm just going to click that now. This is my output file here, and that's going to be the georeference TIFF file there. I can click this browse and make sure it's in the right location and that the name is what I want it to be. And once I georeference this image, it will basically save it to that spot. So if I click OK here, so now I'm going to actually do the referencing. So basically, I'm going to click a point somewhere on this map that I believe I can find on my QGIS screen. So I'm just going to start with this road here. If I pan over, I'm just going to try to select dead center of that T if I can. And it's going to ask me to enter coordinates in. And so I'm just going to click Map from Canvas. And then on my QGIS screen, I'm going to try to click that same spot right there and hit OK. That drops my first georeference point in there. Next, I'm going to select another spot. Like I said, that's why I grabbed this whole image, because I want to try to get basically where that waterway comes to the road there. Kind of match it up with this point here. So I'm going to try to select basically dead center of the road where that waterway meets up here. And then I'll click Map from Canvas, and I'm going to try to do the same thing here. Click OK. And see here. I think it might be best to just come over here and grab this house somewhere. Or at least that might be a good starting, another good point, a solid reference point I can make. Let's see here. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and let's use this. Probably just go like maybe dead center of this building right here. And then I'll use the dead center of this building right here. So that's got me 3 points. One thing though is that because, yeah, that should actually work. I like to make sure that all my points are surrounding the image, the base image I really want, which is really right here. And so I've got 3 points kind of all around it like that. So I think I should be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and once those are done, once those are done, I'm going to go ahead and click on this start georeferencing. And now I can exit that out and it has plotted in that georeference file for me. And I can go ahead and now click. Well, it's above on the legend, it's above my Surgo data there. So I'm going to drag it down below that. That way I can still view that. And now there you go. Now I've got it, and I've got, here's my image file that I referenced. And now I can go ahead and kind of carve out these areas if I don't think they look quite right. Now this actually looks pretty good here. But there is some areas like right in here, I could tweak that out. I could probably change this one a little bit. I could, yeah, there's some changes here. I could kind of map this zone out in here. But before I go too crazy, I do like to go in and capture a few more images. This is Google Earth again. As you can see on my map, there's going to be different types of data, different types of maps like this one here that show some different soil zones or patterns that we can pick up. So what I like to do is kind of get several years in there that all work. And the cool thing too is this same process I just did here is really, you don't have to use Google Earth. You can use some yield data if you have yield data from a GIS software that you got from your combine or any other data that you have. And there's ways you can just import the raw data into here, but this is just a quick way that you can really take any background image, snip it, load it into here as a reference file, and use it as a reference image to create zones off of without actually having to mess with all the background data, which could be really large and bog things down. So this is just another reason I like to do this. So thanks for watching.